Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome to Russell Crowe Month, a whole month dedicated to New Zealand's pride and joy, Russell Crowe. He's had a lucrative acting career, starting in the Americas at least, with Virtuosity in 1995, starring with Denzel Washington. I'm not ready for that one yet. If memory serves, it's a hot mess, but I'll be covering Mr. Crowe with a bunch of shorts this month and a few full-length videos, starting with this one. So if you're really into Russell Crowe, or even if I told you in person that I was doing this and you responded with an eye roll, yeah, you should still get this video liked because, you're nice people. Anyways, I'm kicking off Russell Crowe Month with the first DVD I ever bought. 2000's Gladiator. Our buddy Crowe plays Maximus Decimus Meridius, a Spanish Roman general who, after defeating the German heathens, just look at them, blah, also turns into a gladiator of sorts. We'll get into that soon. Also starring in this film are Joaquin Phoenix, Connie Nielsen, Oliver Reed, and Albus Dumbledore. Ridley Scott directed it, and it was written by David Franzoni, John Logan, and William Nicholson. Gladiator was so cool when it came out. I grew up watching Ben-Hur like 1,000 times with my mom, so it kind of had that nostalgia going for it. The fight scenes looked so realistic, and the Shakespearean level of family dramas that took place throughout the movie were compelling for a period piece action war movie. So, plot time! And I guess spoilers for a 22-year-old film. So, it starts off with General Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, and he leads his troops to end this war with the German barbarians, I guess. The Emperor, Marcus Aurelius, played by Richard Harris, who, yes, did play the first Dumbledore, comes to meet him and congratulate him on his victory. We also see Joaquin Phoenix, who I loved in Walk the Line, and Connie Nielsen, who has had a good run as Wonder Woman's mom lately, play Marcus Aurelius's children, Commodus and Lucilia. They had a past with Maximus. Like they all went to Roman college together, I guess, and Lucilia and Maximus had a thing back in the day, before he was married. So it's pointed out pretty quickly that Commodus, who's next in line to rule Rome, is nowhere near able to lead a nation. Like both morally and, physically, They play him off to be kind of a goofy guy. And Marcus Aurelius tells Maximus, who just wants to go home and be a farmer, that he'll be in charge of Rome until the Senate can take over once again and return it to a republic. Yay, democracy! But as it turns out, Commodus has other ideas. And when his dad shares his plans with him, he decides he loves him so much that he just wants to hug him and squeeze him and call him George. So the newly and quickly appointed Emperor Commodus has Maximus arrested and sent away to die because he knows he'll try to carry out the late emperor's wishes. But as it turns out, Maximus has other ideas. So he does what we're going to go ahead and call the Russell Crowe special, and he talks his captors into making fatal errors so he can disarm them, and he rides home to try and save his wife and kid. He doesn't make it in time though, and he finds them crucified. So he buries his family and lies down to die. But as it turns out, fate had other ideas. He wakes up on a slave wagon. Apparently some nice folks found him almost dead and decided to do the right thing and sell him to Proximo, the Gladiator Fight promoter played by Oliver Reed. We also meet Juba, played by Djimon Hounsou, from lots of comic book movies. Just look at them. And Ralph Muller as Hagen, the two gladiators who end up being Maximus's besties. They win some fights and then move on to regionals.
Next stop, regionals!
What the hell are regionals? They never stop talking about it.
Maximus gets to finally fight in front of Commodus and get some revenge somehow. But the guy in charge of the fights has other ideas. So the gladiators are forced to fight in a reenactment of the Battle of Carthage, where the Romans just slaughter their enemies. But he also had other ideas against the other ideas of the other guy, and with zero practice convinces the other gladiators to fight for the most part as a team, and they win. Yay! Commodus goes down to say hi to the leader, and he pulls his mask off to reveal it was Maximus all along. Side note, I did have plans to either do a Scooby-Doo gag or an Agatha Harkness one here, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. So use your imagination and pretend I did. So Commodus gets all sorts of vexed. He's just vexed because he thought Maximus was dead. There's lots of plotting. Lucilia tries to plot with Maximus and the senators to grab an army and dethrone Commodus, but he gets wise, has an idea to counter theirs, and arrests the senator that was going to help him, which was Gracchus, played by Jacobi, by the way. And then Commodus has a duel with Maximus to try to prove to the people of Rome that he's still the cool guy. He of course cheats and stabs Maximus in the side, and they do a bit of fighting, but Maximus wins, and his mission of both avenging his family and bringing Marcus Aurelius' dying wish to fruition is over. So he falls down and goes to visit his family in the afterlife. The end. So after this movie was released, it was a box office success, being nominated for like all the Oscars and winning 5 of them, including Best Actor for Russell Crowe. Years later, the New York Times coined the term the Gladiator Effect because after everyone was in love with this movie, more Roman things started popping up, as well as historical epics like The Last Samurai, Alexander, 300, The Other 300, and Robin Hood, another Russell Crowe film directed by Ridley Scott. You can also see lots of things in this film that look very familiar now. Maximus, his wife and child die, so he spends his last days seeking revenge.
Check out the terminal list.
His afterlife sequences keep showing him in a field of wheat. Check out Moon Knight. Commodus is the horrible leader of an empire who's in love with his sibling. Check out Game of Thrones. Let me know in a comment if you can think of anything else that this movie inspired. Trivia time! So, Oliver Reed, who played Proximo, died while they were filming, and his character needed a few more shots at the end of the movie to finish the story. They spent $3.2 million to CGI his face onto a body double, and achieved the first movie to use CGI to put an actor in a movie after his death. So they also inspired that. When Maximus describes his home, the kitchen, and the smell of it, Russell Crowe was actually describing his own kitchen at home. Mel Gibson was offered the role of Maximus, but he was too old at the age of 43, I guess. But we got Russell Crowe, so good call there. And the crowd scenes in the Coliseum used real-life extras, shot at different angles, then turned digital, and cardboard cutouts to use to fill out the entire stadium. Also, originally Maximus was going to fight Proximo at the climax, but after Oliver Reed's death, they had to quickly rewrite the ending, and we got the Commodus fight. So what do you think? I still really enjoyed rewatching this for this video. There was really only one thing that kept irking me, and it was these post-effect slow-mo shots that just looked really bad. Just jarring. But really the rest of the movie looks great. It really threw Crowe into mainstream success. King of the World style. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is Russell Crowe Month on the Mr. Movie Lover channel, so all month long you'll be getting nothing but Russell Crowe movies. So if that's not your cup of tea, or your jam, I guess, then look, I still think you should keep watching the videos. Power through! You'll hopefully learn a few things along the way, and learning is the reason we're here, right? But yes, I'm Mr. Movie Lover, and I'll be back again soon. Bye-bye!